the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Yes, it is. The decorations are going up, the shopping lists are growing, and the season of giving is officially here. But the holidays bring more than just cheer. They bring a whole lot of financial questions, whether you're spending big or trying to save smartly. That's where Mint steps in to help you navigate the season's surprises, both magical and monetary. This week, we're sharing a truly heartwarming story of holiday entrepreneurship. It started with a simple Christmas favor, decorating a friend's house. But that goodwill sparked a brilliant idea and launched a thriving enterprise. Get ready to meet the entrepreneur behind Santa Helpers.
Also, today on Mint, is insurance your only lifeline in a world of curveballs? We unravel the fast track to justice with Kenya's small claims court. And Grace Kahaki helps us pull back the curtain on the massive costs of film and TV production.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku niko chesa. Mola, make more bila stress. Mola, kila siku waste. Mola, make more bila stress.
This week on Money Moves, we are exploring why insurance is a necessity, not a luxury. In a world where one unexpected event can turn business plans upside down, having a safety net isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. From climate shocks to market uncertainty, insurance offers business owners the confidence to grow, knowing they are protected from the financial shocks that can derail success.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Ever wondered what happens when the risks of running a business collide with reality? Let's break it down. In the day-to-day operations of any business, risks are everywhere, from property damage to employee injuries to accidents. To protect yourself and your business, it is important that you take up insurance.
Business combined insurance is like an all-in-one safety net. So it's broad enough to cover many risks, and it's been developed by underwriters to form a framework that can address very many classes. In the day-to-day operations of businesses, there are various risks that are inherent. We could have property damage, we could have liability issues, we could have accidents to employees and the likes. So what business combined does is actually put together various classes of insurance into one policy. So we have fire, we have burglary, we have goods in transit, machinery breakdown, electronic equipment.
Now, you might be asking yourself, why is business insurance so important, especially here in Kenya?
There is a change in perception. Now I feel like business owners are waking up to the fact that risks can actually occur. And when risks occur, they actually hit hard. The thought that a risk may occur, but it may not occur to me, is a notion of the past.
Given that it's not just about taking a policy and moving on, what should a business owner consider before selecting the right insurance?
There are a number of factors to consider. First and foremost is the risk exposure. You look at your business holistically and think, what risks are inherent in my operations? What could I face? You also look at the value of your assets. How much am I worth losing? You also look at the safety of your employees in their day-to-day operations. If there was an incident, am I able to take care of that, or would I need a financial institution like an insurance company to actually take care of these risks? You look at the liability, and of course you look at the budget. If I am on a tight budget, then how do I approach this? That's where the issue of prioritization comes in. See? And we normally advise clients, at least you need a fire and burglary protection. Number two, you need a basic liability cover, like a public liability, and you need a cover at least for your employees, which is a WIBA or GPA cover.
But how much are we actually talking about here, and what's the price tag for business insurance?
There is no constant or singular premium or cost that I can mention that covers this insurance. The cost is dependent on the risks that we've put on board. It's dependent on the exposure. It's dependent on a number of things. It's dependent on the size of the company. Mkulima mdogo may have very few assets, so their premium compared to a large manufacturing plant somewhere in Thika would vary. But for starters, the basic premium ranges between 10,000, that's the base, and then it goes upwards towards millions, depending on the assets you have.
Often than not, business owners think insurance is just another expense. What are other common misconceptions people have about insurance?
One of them is the thought that insurance is for the big boys in the industry. That's a misconception that people have that is actually false, because risk is in everything we do, and I think everyone needs to have a level of protection. The thought that because I've been lucky before, I will always be lucky. Because there are floods and I've never had an incident, then luck will be on my side. But I normally say luck is never a strategy. And the other one we've mentioned, it's the perception that insurance companies are cons. They take your premium, make money, and don't pay claims. That's a misconception that people have that is actually false, because risk is in everything we do, and I think everyone needs to have a level of protection, and insurance is one of the most correct ways.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
For many Kenyans, recovering small amounts of money through the courts used to be a costly and frustrating experience. Whether it was a soft loan to a friend or a business partner who disappeared with the proceeds of a deal, it was time-consuming and often not worth the effort. However, that has now changed with the establishment of the Small Claims Court, a system that is designed to recover your money more simply, quickly, and cheaply.
For many people owed small amounts of money, the courts have rarely been a good idea. Whether it's a soft loan to a friend or a case where a partner takes off with the proceeds of a deal, you are usually guaranteed that the case will drag through the courts and you will pay so much fees and spend so much time chasing it, you will come out poorer. When the judiciary checked the backlog of cases, they found that small disputes took up 70% of the court's time. This is the reason behind the establishment of small claims courts through a law enacted in 2016. Kina Biambo is one of the first adjudicators appointed to preside over cases at the Small Claims Court.
A study was conducted in Kenya, and it was discovered that most of the matters filed in our courts, the jurisdiction range between 0 to 1 million. So most of these matters have been staying in court for so long, and Kenyans were complaining that they want swift, expeditious way of resolving disputes. So the Small Claims Court was established so that we can have those matters whose pecuniary value are between 0 to 1 million being handled in the Small Claims Court.
The disputes you can file at the Small Claims Court can be either civil or commercial. The disputes range from business contracts, personal injuries, material damage claims, and others. However, employment contracts, land matters, defamation, and criminal cases cannot be filed in the Small Claims Courts. For civil cases, the maximum cost for filing is 1,000 Kenya shillings, while for most commercial cases, the filing cost is free.
The Small Claims Court was meant to lower the cost of litigation. It was meant to make it simpler for any person, whether represented or not represented, to file a claim in court. So there are some matters which you don't pay anything as filing fees. So long as you have lodged your documents through the e-portal, you'll be given a date. So in that, as per to cost, I think we are the cheapest in filing fees. In other courts, you'll find that lodging a claim, for example, a personal injury claim, you may file a minimum of 500 shillings or 550 for the pleadings, and any subsequent document you file, you'll be charged. If you are filing a return of service, you'll be charged 75 shillings. If you are filing submissions, you'll be charged. But in the small claims court, those fees are waived.
The court has also reduced the demands for litigants, so the adjudicator does not need to see written contracts or documents as evidence. All you need is any evidence that shows the money was meant to be refunded and was not meant as a gift, like the gifts exchanged between couples.
I had a peculiar case. Person X, Y were dating. Along the way, they separated. Now, during their relationship, person X was giving this lady some money, gifts, and when their relationship ended, he filed a suit saying that I want to be compensated back all those items that I gave. Now, it all depends. If the gift was given as a gift, you can't claim it back. But if the intent of giving the money was the money to be repaid back, then you need to prove that it was a loan, which has to be repaid back within a specific period of time.
At this court, everything is done online from filing to the proceedings themselves. As per the rules set out for this court, the cases should be resolved within 60 days.
You will get the forms online, whereby the forms have the particulars of the person making the claim, the person you are suing. So you will fill in the details of the person you are suing and the particulars of your claim. Now, in the particulars of your claim, you will briefly state why you are suing person X, Y, and Z. And then you'll have a checkbox on the amount that you want to be compensated with. Then you sign and then you file it. So when you file it in our e-portal system, the matter will be categorized, whether it's a civil matter or a commercial dispute.
Since its establishment in 2021, the Small Claims Court has had 61,269 cases filed as of February 2025, with 50,666 of these cases being resolved. In terms of monetary value, the court has succeeded in releasing 9.3 billion Kenya shillings back to the economy.
Now, in the other courts, the money will be tied up due to either backlog and matters being filed. So maybe that money will be released back in the economy after 2 or 3 years. So if you had that small company of yours and you are depending on that as capital, it means that you have closed down and you could not either employ people.
Currently, the Small Claims Court operates in 33 counties with 37 active registries.
So we have a good positive feedback from litigants, advocates on the court. So we will encourage our wananchi to file matters in our court. It was meant to ensure that even that person who is at Nyalgunga can file a claim in court and proceed.
With affordable legal costs and fast resolution times, the Small Claims Courts are demonstrating that getting justice, even for your 5,000 shillings, can be simple, and that fairness doesn't have to come with a hefty price tag. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Grace Kahaki takes us through the real cost of storytelling through film and TV.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku waste that.